Hi guys, today it's time for another revisiting old favorites video. So if you have not seen my last video, I did a video where I reacted to my top books of 2013 and kind of talked about how I feel about these books now. And today I'm going to do the exact same thing, but for my favorite books of 2014. I'm so happy that so many of you liked the video and liked the idea, and I'm super excited to do 2014 today. It's honestly a lot of work to edit the video, but it's so much fun to film it and then put it together. So all of the work is worth it, and as I said, I'm just so happy that you enjoyed it as well. Now I know for sure that The Archived and the Unbound is #1 and Vicious is #2. Other than that, I think this is also the year where City of Heavenly Fire came out, and I read Clockwork Prince and Clockwork Princess as well. So I actually think all three of these must be on the list too. And I'm thinking Clockwork Prince might actually be #3. Other than that, I have no idea what's on the list. I also think maybe Everything Leads to You might be on this one. I think I might have read this in 2014. I don't know, I think even though I, in this one, am like super sure of my #1 and #2 and like a couple of the books in it, there's once again like a few where I just don't have any idea what's gonna be on the list. I find that very exciting, very thrilling. So yeah, we're just gonna get started. Hey guys, long time no see. Today I'm going to tell you my top books of 2014. I'm so excited. This is like just one of my favorite videos to watch and also to film, I guess. These are still some of my favorite videos to film and to watch as well. I just like, and this kind of series that I'm doing is definitely just confirming that. I like that you can look back at these and look at your reading taste and what you read in that year and how that reading year might shape the rest of your reading life. I find that so exciting, and that's also why I'm so excited to do this kind of revisiting series. One very, very honorable mention is going to the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and especially the third book. Reading about Middle-earth is my favorite thing, but I wouldn't say that the reading experience that I had was like so amazing. I am really, really glad that even though these books didn't make it onto my favorites list, I decided to mention them in the video. They do mean a lot to me, and I still would not consider them favorites, but I'm glad that I read them, even though my love for them is originally inspired by the movies. So it's kind of cool that I mentioned this, because now I also will always know that, you know, I read the books that year, and I don't know. Just, I like being nostalgic, okay. And I did rank them, but there's always, you know, changes and things like that. And yeah, I'm just gonna start. #10 is Unravel Me by Tara Murphy. I don't know how to feel about that. Okay, let's listen to what I have to say about this. Now I definitely know though that Ignite Me is going to be on the list as well, because I like that one more than Unravel Me. This is the best example for a book and also a trilogy where I saw so many flaws in this trilogy. There were so many things where I felt like they could have been better, but Unravel Me was just so much fun to read. I remember reading it very, very quickly, and it was just, for me personally, a huge step up from Shatter Me. I wasn't expecting it, but I read it like a maniac and just thought it was really great, and I had so much fun reading it. Okay, I get it, yeah, but I'm not sure, like, definitely that never was one of my favorites of all time. I mean, it's #10 on the list, so, you know. I mean, yeah, I haven't read them since then, so I wouldn't know how I feel about them today. I definitely, like, remember how enjoyable they were and how I was able to get through them so fast. So it definitely makes sense, but nowhere near, like, favorites of all time, like, at all. #9 is The Timekeeper by Mitch Albom. This was just a very, very beautiful book with a great message. It's very, very short, but it just tells you what it has to tell you in this short time, and I just want to recommend this to everyone because it's just great and it's short. Just go out and read it because it has a really, really great message. I don't even know what to say about that one. That one was just something that at the time when I read it was really inspiring to me and something that I think I kind of needed at the time, but it's honestly a book that I've kind of forgotten about. Like, I know that it was important to me back then, but I wouldn't really be able to talk about it in detail today. Maybe I should reread it. It's really short.
My number 8 is Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour.
There it is! Guys, the queerness slowly starting to seep into my channel. Remember the days when everything on my channel was straight, including me.
And still think it's one of the most beautiful books ever.
Still.
Number 7 is I Am the Messenger by Markus Zusak. Honestly,
okay, first of all, I'm realizing that I don't think I've ever reread any of the books that are on this list. So I have a thing to do next year because, yeah, I should get on that. I mean, from the 2013 list, I think I had reread half of them. So I need to get on this. But yeah, I Am the Messenger. Definitely one of my favorites of all time. Such a great book. The Book Thief is very beautiful, but I Am the Messenger just spoke to me on a completely different level. Still love that. That's definitely something that I want to reread next year.
absolutely fell in love with it and can't wait to read more by Markus Zusak.
Still haven't read more by Markus Zusak.
On number 6, I have Clockwork Princess by Cassandra
There
Clare.
it is.
I had my problems with starting this trilogy, but once I really got into it, I just fell in love with it and definitely understand why everybody loves the series. And the ending was so beautiful and made me cry.
The Infernal Devices is a series that I still have weird feelings about sometimes. I still like the Mortal Instruments more than I like the Infernal Devices. But Clockwork Princess was a really good book, and it does have like one of the most beautiful epilogues of any book ever. And that's something that I will forever like remember. That reading experience was so intense. I'm not sure. I don't think Clockwork Princess made it onto my favorites of all time. If it was on there, I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm not sure if at this point I would still consider it one of my favorites of all time.
On number 5 is Ignite Me by Tara Murphy. This was another huge step up from Unravel Me. Once again, it was like, oh my god, I have so many problems, but I loved reading it. It was so enjoyable, so much fun. I still have 1,000 questions, but I don't even care about the questions.
Can I just say, I'm like, okay, this series is like the OG of problematic faves, in my personal opinion. But what I love right now is that I mentioned that I still have so many questions, and now we're getting 3 more books. And I'm pretty chill about it at the moment, but I know for a fact that as soon as Restore Me is actually out, I'm gonna be like 100% back at it again. That series was just so enjoyable, and pretty sure Ignite Me is not one of my favorites of all time, but definitely deserves this spot on the list so much.
It was just so much development and just loved it. I just loved it, guys.
It's going to be really interesting to see how Tara Murphy has kind of developed as a writer as well in Restore Me. I'm super pumped for that.
My number 4 is City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. The final book in the Mortal Instruments. One of my favorite series ever.
I'm not sure if at this point I would still say it is one of my favorite series ever. A nostalgic favorite maybe, but for me to actually mention this as a favorite series to people right now, I would have had to reread it. And I'm not ready to do that. I'm not ready to reread this 6-book series at all. But City of Heavenly Fire, I think definitely is something that I would still call one of my favorites of all time. Not nearly in the top 5 first books I would mention, but definitely something that it still deserves the spot on the top books of 2014 and on the favorites of all time as well. Just another one that has its problems, but is so enjoyable.
Oh, it was just so good. Like, it's...
Guys, honestly, nothing has changed. I am the same person.
What I loved most about it was the way that it connected with the...
Yes! I remember that I was so happy that, you know, I actually was able to read Clockwork Prince and Clockwork Princess and City of Heavenly Fire all in one go. because there's so many connections. That was, I remember, one of my favorite parts of the book, and definitely one of the parts as to why this made it onto my favorites of all time.
Number 3 is Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. This is the second book in the Infinity Devices trilogy. And yeah, it's my favorite from the trilogy. I don't even know what to tell you. I guess that it ranked higher than any of Cassandra Clare's other books tells you enough about it, though my all-time favorite Cassandra Clare book is still City of Glass, just to make that clear to you guys.
I think Clockwork Prince is actually Cassandra Clare's strongest book. Even though, like, personally I enjoyed City of Glass more, I do think this is her strongest book. And it's definitely still one of my favorite books of all time. That one was really, really good. And, you know, I really wasn't a big fan of Clockwork Angel, and Clockwork Prince was really able to kind of completely make me fall in love with everyone and the whole trilogy. So yeah, still has a really big place in my heart. Now I'm excited because this is the origins. This is the origins, guys.
My number 2 is Vicious by V. Schwab. I expected something amazing from Victoria Schwab. But I did not expect this book to blow me away as much as it did. A really, really unique, amazing plot. Such cool characters. I just loved every page, every word of this book so much. Yes, that is all that I'm going to say. Of course, my number 1 of 2014 is the archived duology, hopefully soon to be
hopefully soon to be trilogy, she said in 2014. I still believe.
It's just another one where the story is just so amazing. It's just so unique. I never read anything that can compare to this. Just I don't. It's but it still was so simple. It was not like crazy high fantasy where you need one book to get into the whole world. It was all very simple but so magical at the same time. I guess that is what makes these books special. These were my top 10 books of 2014.
I feel very emotional right now. I don't even know what to say. Funniest thing is, I still have not ever reread The Archived and The Unbound, and I'm not sure why that is. I still think it's because I need to be in a very certain mood for this reading experience to be perfect. I am like 100% sure that if I were to reread them now, I would still love them. I think that even if there's probably things in it that, you know, I now would see are not perfect, I would still be just too objective to not love them. These books, they mean so much to me. There's just no way. Vicious, I have actually reread, I think I might have reread it twice. That might be a lie. But definitely I reread it and still loved it as much as I did the first time. What I like so much about rereading Victoria Schwab's books, and I keep saying that, but every time you reread them, you will find more details, and I just love that. I think that's so amazing and such a great like skill if you can do that to a reader. Like, make someone read the story the first time and they understand everything, but then when they reread it, they will find so many more details, and then they will be able to concentrate on other things. I love that, and I think that's definitely one of the reasons as to why Victoria Schwab is my favorite author until this day and probably until eternity. I am so happy. This is so exciting. It's just so great to me to see where it all started. And you know, the thing is, I read The Archived and The Unbound in the beginning of the year, pretty sure in January when The Unbound came out, and read Vicious in February, and they stayed on number 1 and number 2 throughout the whole year. Whatever I read, like, it was always like fixed in that place. Nothing could change about it, and like still nothing has changed in all of these years. That makes me feel like, I don't even know how it makes me feel. This is so cool to see. Did I know back then what to expect as far as Victoria Schwab goes? I don't think so, but man, am I thankful for 2014. So yeah, this was my revisiting old favorites video for 2014. I'm definitely planning on doing 2015 either in December or January. I think it's gonna be very, very interesting. Anyway, I'm not there yet. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on this list. Were there any books that surprised you that made it onto this list? I think most of them were kind of obvious, but maybe there were some where you were like, oh, I didn't know that was one of your favorite books. And let me know, as for the last video, if you remember any of your old favorites that you now hate or that you now love even more because you reread it. And thank you so much for watching. I guess I'll see you soon. Bye! Okay, so, I already forgot. I own all of them! I didn't have all of them in the video because, you know, I was living in Vienna. This is very exciting, but also I hate myself because there's a lot of books. Uh-oh. That has to be enough. Oh.